Salvete discipuli. This is Magister Austin, and today we're going to be talking about Roman numbers. There are three types of Roman numbers. As you can see here from the first picture, we have a young girl writing numbers in what looks like a letter form, and those are Roman numerals. We also have representations of our regular counting numbers, and these are called cardinal numbers. And we have a picture representation of numbers we use for telling order, and those are ordinal numbers. So first let's talk about Roman numerals, which are equal to Arabic numerals in the English language, which is basically writing your words as a number, 1, 2, 3. In Roman numerals, the I is equal to the number 1. The V is equal to number 5. The X is equal to the number 10. The L is equal to the number 50. C is equal to the number 100. D is equal to the number 500. And M is equal to the number 1000. So you can see here that these 7 numbers make up the basis of the Roman numeral system. But what happens when we don't want to say 100 or 50? Well, then we have to start using a little math. And to do that, we have to add or subtract our Roman numerals together. Now, we subtract when we take a smaller number like I from V. And that means that the smaller number is on the left side of the word. It comes first. And so we take the I from the V, which gives us a 4. Now, if the bigger number comes first, so that the smaller number is on the right, we're going to add it together. So V plus I equals 6. And of course, you can add the same numbers together, like X plus X will equal 20. Now those are just smaller numbers, but you can use it with bigger numbers. For instance, here we have MCDLII. And here we've created the number 1452. Well, how do we get that? Well, the M is 1000. So that's the biggest number we have. So we can either add or subtract from that number. Here we are technically adding the C, but what we're doing is adding the C, which is being subtracted from the D to get us 400. Then we add an L, which is 50, plus the 2, and that equals 1452. And so that's how Roman numerals calculate together. Now I know you're all mostly familiar with this, but it doesn't hurt to go over them again. So then we have cardinal numbers, which are numbers for counting. So here we have 3 pictures. We have hearts, we have oranges, and we have colored squares. So what we have to do here is count. And so if we look, we count 1, 2, 3 hearts, and that gives us tria is equal to 3. Now tria is a special circumstance because the numbers 1, 2, 3, and 1000 actually decline as adjectives. So I'm using, in this case, the neuter form because the word heart is neuter. But other numbers just use one singular form. In this box we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 oranges. Okay, so to create 12, we actually take the number 2 and we add it to the number 10 to get the word duodecim. And duodecim is 12 in Latin. And over here we have 4 colored squares across and 5 colored squares down. So that is going to equal into 20 if you're using your math correctly. And the word in Latin is vigenti. So vigenti equals 20, and it is to vigenti that we're going to add words like tria and quattuor to get different versions of the word 20. And so we'll take a look at that as we continue with our study in that particular manner. Now the last type of number is the ordinal number, and this is basically telling the order something occurs. We typically use this in Latin when telling the time of day. But here we have a line of flowers, and we can tell what order these flowers come in using ordinal numbers. So we have this first flower being pointed to by the arrow, and that is primus, which is the first. Now we have an arrow pointing to the third flower, so we get tertus equals the third. Now we have an arrow pointing to our fifth flower, and that's going to go to quintus, which is fifth. And then we have one on our eighth flower, so that's octavius, which is eighth. And then we have one pointing to the 12th flower, which is duodecimus, which is 12th. and we have one pointing to the 15th flower, which is actually two words. Quintus decimus is how we get going into those farther things. And of course, those things will change as we go along. So there you have it, Roman numbers in a nutshell. You can look at your sheet to identify those. You should see a line of numbers in Roman numerals, cardinal numerals, and ordinal numbers. And those are the things that you want to be able to identify and use as we continue with this lesson. Thank you.